Oh, hello there, Foundation staff. Welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast of Site-42. Good to see you all in the chat. Aether, Dihydrogen Monoxide, Junior Researcher Sally, and Sheeny. Good to see you guys in the chat, and thank you for being members. Coco Cookie, The Wolf Clan, and Redacted Theorist. Welcome to chat, not for being members, just because. We are here for a standard issue. 3-hour office hours today, so check your clocks. We are right at the beginning of stream. If you are here now, you are on time. Congratulations. Amber and Drowsy, good to see you guys in the chat as well. Thank you for being members. Jojo Jargon for being correct about the thumbnail. It is not a he, it is not a she, a they, or anything else. It is an SCP anomaly, and therefore it is an it. You are correct. Take this cookie from the commissary. Ah, Aether, you're talking to us from your cover job. Well, keep it on the down low. Don't let a civilian see your feed. Jonathan, thank you for being the first donation to today's stream, and as well as your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. Help, I am trapped with a group or Foundation staff who are furries. I kind of vibe with them. A group of Foundation staff, I assume, is what you meant. And my answer to that will be, well, do you really need help? I mean, are they doing anything to you? I mean, make sure that if you are hanging out with that group, there's no sort of lack of consent in any activities, but typically the amount of people who work at the Foundation who are furries is a little bit higher than the standard population, the same way that people who work in information security tend to be furries for some reason. I'm not sure the correlation there, but it does exist. And so just don't make them mad. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of sucre on your way past the commissary. Did you hear they lost the Annabelle doll? It escaped containment, not she, it. Y'all sent out the mobile task force yet? We're gonna need it. I read this yesterday, and it turns out they already found it in Chicago, apparently. Apparently, it turned up a day later, so not our problem in this case. Although, if they are gonna slack on their containment protocols in the future, maybe we should take over the anomaly just in case. Maybe they're not trustworthy. Your mistake is right, but I'll allow it. This is the beginning of stream. We're all warming up our brains. We're all caffeinating. I have appeared. I am here very quick, but must disappear because my phone is almost dead and I gotta put it on the charger. Well, Avari, make sure you charge your phone. Very important if you're gonna watch the streams. How was your MRI, Doc? The MRI went fine. God, those things are loud. And also, I am not one for standing still, so that was a challenge, but I managed. And now I gotta wait 1 to 2 days for a response. So once I get the deets, then we will have some more knowledge. And knowledge is power, especially in the world of the anomalous. Epsilon 5, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Slim Jim on your way past the commissary. The cracking sound from yesterday is getting louder. Okay, but it is taking the entire day. So this is a very slow-moving anomaly. We need to... All right, let's put you in a containment cell, and let's see if it can get in. That'll be a good way to test what's going on. Ah, Desk, you made it here alive. Good to see you. Do you have any tips for writing personnel files? Honestly, I don't, because I've only written one, and it's not itself a personnel document. You see, most personnel documents on the SCP Wiki are thinly veiled author pages. Even the front page of my author page, the Sherm's Site42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki, is just a thinly veiled, hello, I'm Sherman and I write SCPs kind of page. So there aren't a lot of personnel files on the wiki that are there for the purpose of being personnel files. It's almost like SCP authors write a bunch of SCPs first, and then when they get to make their author page, that's how they cheat and canonize their SCP author avatar /OC. It's kind of a roundabout way to getting there. That's not the norm, but it is something I've noticed. It's not a bad thing. It's just, a personnel file on itself doesn't really lend itself to a story unless you find a way to make a story in that format, which could be very interesting. I'm not sure if it's been done before. But, so yes, unfortunately, I don't have any tips beyond the general writing tips for that. What do we do during a live broadcast? Well, Dylan Simon, welcome. I guess this is your first anomalous broadcast from Site42. On a Dr. Sherman's office hours, I hang out here like a college professor with open office hours, and you all, the SCP Foundation staff, ask me questions, hypotheticals about protocols at the Foundation, containment protocols for certain anomalies, anything you need to know about the SCP Foundation staff, history, and lore to help you be a better Foundation staff member. Whether you are a janitor or an overseer, there's plenty to learn about the Foundation, and I am here to help educate. Edward, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Good to be your doctor. Sorry about the earthquake. Sorry about the bloodstains, didn't have time to change after the last test got fully. Oh, I am used to that, so don't gotta worry about that. Let's see here. Project Unfarmed, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Snickers bar on your way past the commissary. 10 Tails Gaming, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot dog on your way past the commissary. When will you scientists stop sending me to that water? I'm getting tired of saying I only seen water. Well, when will it end? Well, listen, we're making you wear different cognitohazardous glasses. We're making you tech it in different things. We are thorough with our testing schedule, so don't worry about it. I mean, it could be worse than looking at a lake for some SCP testing. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Real life update. Today I got recertified in CPR, AED, and first aid. King of ADHD, thank you for bringing that up, because you just reminded me that I need to get recertified. Oops. Thank you for the reminder. I'm not lapsed yet, but I'm getting close to lapsed. And for my dance teaching cover job, I need to be CPR and all certified. So thank you for the reminder, King of ADHD. Congratulations yourself. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I got some off-site time. On my way back to the site right now. All right, well, we'll see you soon. I hope your little off-site sabbatical did a good job for your mental health. Rosie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a churro on your way past the commissary. Found an instance of SCP-610. What should I do? Where is it? Because if it's outside of the 610 containment area, burn it. Get rid of it. We do not want any escapees causing any issues. Epsilon 5, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, am I going to die? If so, make a cover-up. I do not think you're going to perish, but we will cover it up if need be, if that's what you want. I wish I could donate. Well, Flat Sandwich, even if you can't directly donate to Site42, we still appreciate you white names because you are doing the YouTube. You are liking, sharing, and subscribing, and that helps us recruit more SCP Foundation staff to Site42, because the more you guys hit that like button and share the videos and all, the more we drag people kicking and screaming to Site 42 by using the algorithm. So if you are not a direct donor, you can still be a Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename Signal Booster. SCP-173 version 9, who will win? Well, 999 doesn't have eyeballs, meaning it can't look at 173, meaning 173 can move freely. But 999 also doesn't have a neck or any other bones. So all Peanut's going to be able to do is slide around in the slime and kind of turn its containment cell into an ice rink. Except it would have to, then the 999 slime would mix with the red and brown liquid substance. Oh, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. Test denied. Not doing it. We are not getting poopy blood on SCP-999. That's not right. Sheeny, thank you for your second donation to today's stream. I have ADHD, so I don't even notice the bodies in the water, let alone recognize them. Just throwing it out there. Neurodivergent benefits. Huh. I had not considered that. Funny, the documentation doesn't mention as such either. I have been asked about face blindness in the past, and that doesn't really work, but interesting. Can you teach us the pen spin? Okay, Landon, I'll give you a quick tutorial. First of all, hold the pen like you want to write it. That's just because I like to click the pen in between spins, and clicking the point is not nearly as fun. So you start in writing position, then you pick the pen up between your fingers. You want the point up in this case for clicking ability, and then you move it horizontal both ways, and once you get horizontal, you catch it. Boom, horizontal, catch. Now when we do it horizontal over the top, we catch it on the top. Over the top, catch the top. Over the bottom, catch the bottom. Over the bottom, over the top, over the top. You saw nothing. And so when you're practicing, it is easiest to spin palm up because gravity will help keep the pen in your hand. It is hardest to spin palm down because gravity is a dirty, dirty thief trying to steal your pen. And then casually, you just hold your wrist however, and you can even use a little wrist action to give yourself some extra momentum. Practice it on both hands, practice it in both directions, and get good. It's all up to you. My mic is cutting out, you say? How badly is my mic cutting out? Is this an internet storm that is passing by, or should I restart the stream? Is it clearing up? I'm waiting for a 30-second delay in the chat to see if we have better. It was for a minute and now it's fine? Is that the situation? You good? Okay, cool. Thank you. So where was I? Cheddar Wizard! Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Cheese Whiz on your way past the commissary. What is your honest-to-God opinion of SCP-252? You get the gist of it. Well, I'm not familiar with that anomaly, so let me take a look at it real quick. SCP-252. Humbolt Squid. Object class Euclid, object class formerly Euclid, now safe. It is a subspecies of Dosidicus gigas. Mature specimens are noticeably smaller than average, reaching no more than 1 meter in length and weighing a maximum of 40 kilograms. Dissection shows the absence of an ink sac and increased density of chromatophores, approximately 20 times the normal adult average. Behavior is identical way to most mundane specimens, except when hunting or threatened. When a member of SCP-252 detects prey, they exhibit aggressive behavior and move toward the target at maximum speed while rapidly cycling their chromatophores. The color shifting has a hypnotic effect on prey animals that make visual contact, causing them to cease all defensive behavior and attempts to flee. So hypnotizing rainbow squid, is that what we're talking about here? Escaping. Metamorphosis. Subjects viewing video of agitated 252 who have never been exposed directly experiences much less severe fear reaction. So it freaks them out and they run away. Fear the squid. And you become afraid, a permanent phobia of cephalopods. So it flashes the rainbow at you and it gets you super, super scared. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I'm not, I gotta say, my opinion on this anomaly is I'm kind of neutral to it. It's not too big, not too small. It's just a weird animal that does a thing. Yeah, maybe it seems to have convinced humanity that they're sea monsters, but it's certainly not the only sea monster anomaly that we have. So, yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary for what we deal with every day. Sheeny, thank you for donating again to warn me about the mic. I hope it is still working better than it did before. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Also, if you see me jumping around from different tasks, it's because I had a fractal incident thanks to my specialty containing temporal anomalies. I just avoid direct contact with the other selves. Ah, yes, being split through time and space. Not the first time it's happened to one of us, not the last. Clone, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary. Good evening, Doctor. Hope everything has been well at Site 42. Rebels have had me in X-Wing flight sims all day. Apparently I have a knack for flying. Oh, well, maybe you should join one of the aerial mobile task forces. Obviously, there are a lot of skybound anomalies that need containing, and sometimes those require jets, so you might be a dead ringer. Aether, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a nice cream on your way past the commissary. Ten Tails Gaming, thank you for donating again. Hey, Dr. Sherman, why did one of your scientists hand me a picture of a headless, naked, gray dude? Why is the scientist screaming after looking at the said picture? Why is someone else screaming loudly approaching my cube? Well, it is a very strange question. I don't know about any headless, naked gray dude. Unless this is part of your not being able... Do you just not see faces? You weren't able to see the bodies in the water at all, but now you're not just seeing a face. So I think that the way this is becoming is you are simply unable to see anomalies that are cognitohazardous. So maybe you are immune to cognitohazards in a manner. This could use some further testing, but that would be very helpful to the memetics division. So yeah, let's keep a tap on that. And Sanastar Chaos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some juicy fruit on your way past the commissary. He's Mr. Shermiser. He's Mr. Shermiser. He's Mr. No Fraternize with the SCPs. They are it's no humanizing either. He's hashtag ace and SCPs are things and not people. That's a hell of a summer jam you got there. Banger of the summer, I can see it now. Maggie's art. I'd like to apologize for my desk pony drawing as I saw it traumatized you, Dr. Sherman. It was quite funny, don't get me wrong. I may have erroneously extreme reactions in the moment, but after I get a moment to think about them, yeah, it was pretty funny. Never trust anything an SCP researcher reacts to because we always have anomalous reactions. Maybe I thought it was funny and I was just hamming it up for the camera. Who knows? I know. And I was. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself an apple on your way past the commissary. Hi. Hi. May I place a mirror in front of SCP-096? How would it react to a mirror? SCP-096 does not care about mirrors. It already knows what its face looks like. It activates because other people find out what its face looks like and it hates that. So a mirror not only would not cause any issue for 096, but it would cause us issues because now there are two places we could see its face. Either 096 itself or the mirror's reflection. So now you're doubling the chance of anybody who goes in the containment cell to get murked. So we do not put mirrors in that containment cell. Oh, thank you. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a boysenberry pie on your way past the commissary. Hello, sorry for being late. Just ate and woke up from a nap. By the way, how'd it go? And nice shirt. So, in order, hello. No worries for being late. You're only 20 minutes late. We are just getting started. And, nice, having a nap and eating are both good self-care things. The MRI went okay. I just gotta wait 1 to 2 days for the results, so we'll finally see if there's anything more we can be doing for my ankle. I'd like to get back to walking properly again. And a nice shirt. Hell yeah. Clone, thank you for donating again. Was just introduced to a pilot named Antilles. Oh, Wedge, good guy. Or no, Biggs? Wedge Antilles. Wedge Antilles. Biggs is his friend. I remember this. You know, you meet people in the halls, you only remember so much. Seems I've caught the attention of pretty high personnel in Alliance Starfighter Command. Hey, remember, you're there to spy for us. You are not there to save the rebellion or anything like that. I mean, they're already fighting a big enough enemy. We just want to know what their intel is on the anomalies they face. I have a test idea. If a shard of SCP-409 and SCP-009 were put next to each other on some granite, would they try infecting each other? Well, I'm familiar with 409, the contagious crystal, but I'm not familiar with 009 as an anomaly. Let me have a look. Edward, so Doctor, it's Wednesday. Any thoughts on the itinerary for tonight's meeting? For tonight, there is no itinerary. We are just vibing. We are just vibing today. That is all I know. And we are vibing until 6 p.m. my time zone, which is 2.5 hours from now. There is 2.5 and a little bit of change left in the stream. Okay, red ice. Oh, I seem to remember this anomaly somewhat. It's been a while. Approximately blank liters of a substance which superficially resembles distilled water except with a bright red hue. This red hue is discernible in all phases and serves as the most expedient method of identifying contaminated matter before its anomalous properties manifest. In contrast to mundane water, 009 assumes a liquid phase at temperatures between negative 100 Celsius and 0% Celsius, and a solid state above those temperatures. At temperatures below 100% Celsius, or 100 degrees Celsius, 009 vaporizes into gaseous phase similar to steam. Let it contaminate normal H2O. When in contact with any solution, 009 will, through unknown mechanisms, transfer its anomalous properties to other objects and creatures. Capable of assimilating ice, steam, tea, fruit juice, seawater, blood, and data expunge. Takes time for this process to occur, varies on temperature and the exact chemical composition of the affected matter. 3 minutes to several hours. D-class personnel have illustrated the process of conversion by the substance. Subject exposed to 009. Starting to crystallize. Runaway reaction. Okay, so my big curiosity here then is 009. It seems like it only affects things that are liquid. And for contagious crystal, it does not suffer from that limitation. And so, just a quick Google search. Oh, what do you mean liquid quartz? Okay, it's just a sealant. It is not actually quartz in a liquid form. I was a little confused. I was like, what are you talking about? Crystal quartz is neither a solid nor a liquid, and its vibration is the axis of the universe. Rating false. Yeah, that sounded pretty weird. So, So one can affect crystallization, any other material other than granite. So any other material, painful like frostbite to humans. So end of hypothesis. Long story short, my belief is that 409 can affect anything except granite, and the red ice can only deal with liquids. Ergo, I believe that while the 409 would not spread on the granite, and really, the red ice wouldn't spread because the granite isn't liquid either, because 009 only messes with liquids. Ergo, it's kind of a moot point. They're both very similar, but they're going to end up with very different states, therefore they don't really bother each other. Unless the ice is a solid at the time, in which case the 409 infects the ice, and I doubt that the 409 can resist that the same way that 682 can't resist the 409. This is not sponsored. Come back, coffee. Epsilon 5, thank you for donating again. I know it's a big ask, but can you use SCP-6500 on me? I'd like to end now, and maybe I think it will stop anomalous effects, and I should be promoted. Is 6500 something you can use on people? I know SCP-6500 is quite a long document, and I have not written it. No, I didn't write it. I have not read it. Ergo, process of entropy exclusively targeting the anomalous. This primarily affects, but is in no way limited to, various forms of thaumaturgy, colloquially known as magic. Okay, so over 1,500 neutralizations of anomalous persons, items, areas, and phenomena over the past decade. That's right. I remember the byline of this now. So, I don't remember Epsilon 5. Are you at your baseline anomalous? Because this eliminates anomalies, but you're not an anomaly. You're just being affected by an anomaly, if I remember correctly. Because if you're not anomalous, then 6500 ain't gonna do nothing, is what I'm saying. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a fruit punch flavored popsicle on your way past the commissary. What happens if you draw a picture of 729-Jim? Okay. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And stick it on every Site-42 blackboard? Dihydrogen monoxide. What you have just stated, in its hypothetical, is enough for me to throw you in SCP-3999's containment chamber. Think about that. Think about that. And see how lucky you are that the ethics committee won't let me do that. I'm gonna end your whole existence. I'm gonna find a way. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I tried joining the SCP Wiki site and was declined. I don't know why. So if you are declined, it can mean two things mostly. Number one is that you are not old enough. I do not know your age. And B, it is that you did not fill out your application properly. There is a very specific application process, and it is used as a doorway to keep out people who will not follow the rules. So if you did not apply properly, that is the other reason you will be declined, and you need to do it the right way, which includes reading all the rules and doing it properly. Herman Fuller, Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a elephant ear on your way past the commissary. Sherman, guess what's coming to town? Listen, as much as out of character I love Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting, I'm supposed to be annoyed at you right now. Obviously, we do not need an anomalous circus, so thank you for the warning. We are going to contain you. Meanwhile, if you have not read about Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting on the SCP Wiki, then you should check that out to the heck good time. Especially when Herman Fuller got overthrown. That was a good time for everyone involved. I think your pen is anomalous and will turn on you someday. Gary! Gary, listen to yourself. Do you think that this pen is anomalous? You think this pen right here is anomalous? Why would this pen be anomalous? In what way? What could said pen do that would be outside the scope of normalcy? Nothing. That's what. You're crazy talking. You're crazy talking. You gotta go see the on-site therapist. You're speaking crazy now. Rosie, thank you for donating again. I have a problem. Ethics committee are after me. Well, that is what you gotta worry about when you work for the Foundation. I highly recommend that you run. It's your only option, really, because they will show no mercy. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Glad to hear it, happy for you. Well, much appreciated. Aether, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, my quote manager almost caught a glimpse of my feed. Listen, do you know how much it will cost us to fly out a batch of amnestics for your manager and the rest of the staff there? Do not get caught showing the anomalous, our stream, to civilians. Don't do it. Be careful. Are you okay with me giving SCP-099 SCP-420? Why would you give SCP-099 an anomalous whiskey that gives it skin cancer? SCP-099 doesn't even have skin. What are you thinking here? Talk to me. I don't understand what you're doing. I don't understand why and how. Pink Program. I am quite aware. I think they probably meant SCP-420-J, but I'm going to make fun of every typo you people put in here. Because we are Foundation staff, we should be held to a better standard. I think so. You think so. We all know this. Strawberries, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Also at my cover job, I have a coworker who would be a good fit for a site researcher. Do I have permission to orient him into the Foundation? Listen, you got to do exactly what we do otherwise, which is send their profile, their resume, to one of our front vetting organizations and let them handle the application process. If we want this person, they will be taken the right way. We don't take it upon ourselves to recruit people. That's how we've gotten a lot of Chaos Insurgency and Serpent's Hand traitors. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. I didn't catch your reply because YouTube was being special, but inattentive ADHD has its advantages. Understandable, yes. I believe that sometimes it can just go right over your head if you're lucky. Desk, how dare you? Desk shared with me a wonderful meme, and I'm going to share it with you people. So, let me turn this thing around. And this is, as we would say in the Foundation, exactly correct. No lies detected. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating. Also, what is the Foundation Orientation Pledge again? Again, let the Applications Division handle it. They've got a lot of protocols for this. Naruto Uzumaki, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. I don't know what ninjas eat. Just make sure to grab yourself a rice ball on your way past the commissary. Hey, tell me your favorite SCP facts. My favorite SCP facts. Let me dig deep into the community lore. Oh, Edward, you're right. Naruto, grab some ramen. That was the right answer. Plutonium, second best answer for pizza. So, favorite SCP facts. I enjoy the fact that, to my knowledge, hold on, let me see something real quick. I want to make sure I've got the right answer of this before I confirm it. I don't want to share misinformation on the internet if I can help it. No, that's from too long ago. Relevance, all time. How about past year? Okay, I can't find the answer to my question, so I'm going to just say an SCP fact that Desks is that the community has grown so much over the years that we have influenced popular media, such as the fact that the game Control was said to be an inspiration for us, as well as how many containment-themed games there are on Roblox as well. I'll add that on there. And so meanwhile, while I'm on the tangent and still trying to think of my fun SCP fact, Star, you want to draw something? How about you draw... I want you to draw the altar of snacks on top of the microwave from SCP-5320, plus some worshippers worshiping it. The altar of snacks on top of the microwave from SCP-5320, plus a couple of worshippers. Because then the internet will work properly. The Wi-Fi will work. Okay, back to my fun facts. SCP Facts, SCP Facts. Okay, a trippy one. See, my problem is that all of my facts that come to mind are all some sort of horrible backstory to them. For instance, fun fact, the Tupac SCP, which is SCP-2137, was written by famous Hollywood screenwriter Max Landis. whose father, John Landis, made a bunch of great movies, and also who either one or both of them have very bad reputations for injuring/abusing people, and ergo, the SCP Wiki staff has banned Max Landis from the SCP community for being Me Too'd. That's a weird fact. Or what about the fact that SCP-2721 is one of, if not the only SCP article with no voting module. You can't vote up or down on it. And it's because 5 or 6 years ago now, maybe even 7 years now, damn, I've been here a while, there was an entire Gamergate-style alt-right campaign against the SCP Wiki because we're woke and gay and all that. And they were specifically hating on 2721, which, for your all information, is a fine article. It's well written. I don't like it because I don't like the language it uses, and it's one of those things where they did something I don't like really well. So even if I don't like it, I can't hate on it. It's really, really strong in the cringe, Tumblr, ooh-woo, Homestuck speak. And, like, they did it right. I can't fault them. They did exactly what they set out to do. And the Gamergaters got real mad. And so that was a big fight that ended up with only one article on the wiki not having no voting module because of brigading. It was crazy. It was wild times. There are 2 you can't vote on. Oh, Desk, thank you for the intel. Do you remember what the other one is? I thought there was a new second one, but I don't remember. 7156. Okay. Desk, do you know why 7156 got that privilege? Because I'm not familiar with the story. And I would love to cap off this fun facts. Oh, no, it's not gone. I just typed the number wrong. Like a rube. Yeah, discussion 54. That's crazy. Da-da. I'm scanning the discussion to see what is going on. You know, sometimes you just gotta be a sucker for the drama. You gotta see what's going on. Negative vote brigading for what reason? I feel like an SCP Wiki archaeologist sometimes. Someone reposted a Russian translation, and it was removed for plagiarism. Then the current article took its place. The OP lost their shit and had it spam downvoted. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's, wow. Good to know. So, TLDR, someone posted a translation of a Russian SCP article to our wiki, which happens all the time, and it did not pass muster and got deleted. And the person who got deleted got mad and brigaded the new article that took its place. Ay, ay, ay. People are so tetchy. The OP being the plagiarizer, I see. So, can the Foundation not afford copyrighted music? Listen, Kevin MacLeod is a saint for making so much music and just releasing it for free. Can't hate on the man. All right, that was a very long Q&A, and I need to now catch up with some notes here. So, speed round. Lost January, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. Hi, I tried to use a pseudo random number generation system to play D&D, and I got a mess of 0s and 7s. Kind of ruined my game. What am I supposed to even do? Take it over to the SCP-7777 research team. They've got some notes for you. Mindwolf 1987, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a chicken taco on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what would you call a 022-J instance that uses titanium alloy mixture? Well, it would certainly depend on what titanium alloy mixture they were using and for what purpose they were using it for. Because there's sometimes when a titanium alloy might be the right kind of metal for certain tasks. And there are very many times when a titanium alloy mixture is not the correct metal to use. And so all I want to know is why they're using it. For what purpose? That's all. That's all. Can a guy just get a little knowledge here? Just a little. Just that's all. See, Junior Researcher Sally. Dr. Sherman, there is someone who is trying to make a cage out of SCP-022-J. That is not an appropriate use for titanium. I just yelled so loud it burnt out my eardrum. That was weird. Dr. Sherman, would you say Kubo from Kubo and the Two Strings is an SCP? If he was, what class would he be? Oh. I forget Kubo's deal. Isn't Kubo the son of a deity or something? Wields magical powers, so is obviously anomalous. Yes, the long story short here is that Kubo would be a Euclid class entity, but we would likely have to just contain their island due to the amount of other anomalous entities that are around that area. We just don't let people go there. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I'm 35. Well, that is, I guess, fine then. He says, trying to remember what we were talking about before the titanium crash out. Okay, so then yes, for joining the SCP Wiki, you probably got something wrong in your application. So check again and see what rules you may or may not have followed. Why are Americans so fat? I believe something, heavily processed food, something, convenience of car culture causing people to walk less. This is not really an anomalous question, though. This is just sociology. I'm not the guy to talk to about that. Wrathful Crimson, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a steak dinner on your way past the commissary. What's your favorite SCPs? Wrathful Crimson, can you confirm that what you meant there was 3? If it's your favorite 3 SCPs is what you're asking, it seems like what I should do is just do the favorite SCPs early for your donation. But I'm going to wait till you I'm going to wait until you confirm that and desk lets me know before I continue forward. So I'll come back to that. Chimera Sliver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary. In a previous stream, we suggested a research of the infinity anomaly for IKEA was starting with an I, because a researcher found an infinite IHOP. I found an infinite iPhone store to add to the list. If this keeps up, I'm going to have to create an anti-meme that stops people from naming stores and restaurants with the letter I? That's so much. That's so much. Please tell me this is not going to be a thing. That's going to be so much paperwork. You're looking for Wrathful Crimson desk. Wrathful Crimson. Okay, thank you for donating again to clarify, Wrathful Crimson. You did mean 3. So, what I will tell you is, since you asked my favorite 3 SCPs and you gave me a rather generous donation for that answer, I'm going to do what I do at the end of every stream, which is tell you my favorite SCPs. Now, these are not my favorite SCPs that I wrote, because that would be cheating. The SCPs I wrote are obviously loves of my heart because I wrote them. They're my children's. But if you want to read the SCPs that I wrote, you can go to my author page on the SCP Wiki, the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub, and you can see all the SCPs I wrote along with our various support links for Site 42. You can become a Site 42 patron, get early access to our long-form videos for as little as $1 a month. You can become a YouTube channel member, where Tier 1, you get green name in the chat, you get your badges and emojis, and then at level 2, and so on, you get the early access to videos, kind of balancing the two out. And even if you can't directly donate, you can't afford that, as long as you are here liking, sharing, and subscribing and doing that YouTube business, then you're a part of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. You are helping us to signal boost SCP film and game and projects that are either by us at Site 42 or by other teams with less reach. And so for that, we thank you for your service regardless. Now, my favorite SCPs, in no particular order, are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, and SCP-5320, and the last one with a big trigger warning is SCP-8980. That one is a rough read, but it's very good. Speed round. 399930430008-J, Spooky-J, 5031517553208980. Content warning for the last one. Site 42 staff, I also want you to know here, you currently have 195 likes, which is higher than the viewer count of 174, so you have done that within the first hour of stream. You guys are incredible. Good job. And of course, keep hitting that like button so we can recruit more people to Site 42 via hacking the YouTube algorithm. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Sending his resume to the correct department now. Excellent. What is the scariest / most brutal SCP in your opinion? I know 4666, also is known as the Yule Man, is up there, but is there any before it? So, I'm gonna go ahead and say that for brutal today, my brutal SCP of the day is SCP-5798, codename the Drain Snake. And already, just by telling you that, I've spoiled it, but it's still a very good SCP, and you should check it out. I find it very enjoyable, and I think you will too. Plus, it's not terribly long. Epsilon 5, thank you for donating again. Why can I see ghosts? I don't like this help. Wow, you are having a real trip in there. I think maybe we should... Maybe we should use 6,500 on you. Just end your misery. I mean, unless that's not intrinsic to you, because then 6,500 wouldn't work. Wow, we got a lot going on here. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. He just said your name, Dr. Sherman. Shall I halt the send? I don't like the idea that he knows about me in advance. That you might have an infiltrator who's trying to get their way into the Foundation. But don't worry, send the resume. Just mark it with a red check mark. They'll know to do a full background vetting. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. I know SCP is fictional and you were joking earlier, but the content of SCP-3999 is highly triggering to me, so please don't threaten me with that even as a joke. Thought I'd let you know. Duly noted. I will do my best to remember. I hope you will forgive me in the future because there are a lot of you in the chat, but I will try to remember that to the best of my ability. And I'm sorry, and I hope you're doing okay. Dr. Sherman, I wrote SCP-1529. Tell me, what do you think? Please tell me. Really? You're the author of SCP-1529? I can check that out for you real quick. I can't do a full reading of anything too long, but I'm happy to take a peek. 1529. King of the Mountain. Native environment, under telescope and satellite surveillance, whenever weather and daylight permit. Year-round telescope surveillance conducted from the Foundation's permanent monitoring stations in Nepal and the People's Republic of China. Foundation liaise with civilian expedition coordinators as necessary to prevent attempts on the summit when 1529 is active. Bodies of hikers who encounter 1529 are to be removed from the mountain as soon as possible for autopsy and disposal. All 1529 related casualties shall be attributed to natural causes relating to altitude sickness and hypothermia. Mobile Task Force Psi 29029. Wow, that's quite a long designation for a mobile task force. Codename Alpine Echo. Shall remain on standby at all times at the Foundation monitoring station. Okay, so they are assigned to this anomaly. 1529 is a humanoid individual residing near the summit of Mount Everest in Nepal above the 8,000-meter death zone mark where human acclimatization is believed to be impossible. 1529 appears to be of average height and weight and is dressed head to toe in what resembles standard mountaineering wear and boots colored white. 1529's face is entirely obscured by the hood of its parka, what appears to be an oversized pair of black, opaque mountain goggles. 1529 has never been observed to wear any other clothes. Very few living people have observed 1529 except through a telescope, it is not known whether its coverings or clothes are part of its body, similar to 049 in that case, or what it may look like underneath, except as per interview 1529-1. We became aware of it in the 70s when annual expeditions to the summit of Mount Everest became more common. Rumors began to circulate in the mountaineering community about a monster near the summit. We're mentioning George Mallory now. During periods when daylight is sufficient and cloud cover allows for surveillance of the mountain, 1529 is on average observable blank percentage of the time. 1529 is inactive and lies and sits motionless. Reported periods of inactivity have extended from 17 minutes to possibly 8 months. Median period of inactivity is 23.4 days. When active, it can be observed to climb about the upper reaches of the mountain in some in no discernible direction. Has never been observed to use any tools or climbing aids other than hands or feet. Climber descends, blah, blah, blah. If human climbers ascend past the 8,000-meter mark while 1529 is active, it will attempt to make its way toward them and interpose itself between them and the summit or camp. 1529 seems to prefer to target solo climbers or climbers that are significantly ahead of or behind the rest of their group, but will target individuals within a group if such an opportunity does not present itself. Once 1529 is within eyesight of a traveler, it will attempt to gain his/her attention, will cause the traveler to make eye contact with it, which induces a hypnotic effect in the victim. Victim finds it very difficult to break eye contact with 1529 and will begin to feel very warm and comfortable and enticed to sit down and relax. Once the climber stops moving, 1529 will close range with the climber and Data expunged. Cool. We don't know what happens. Thanks, Foundation document. Death from hypothermia appears to occur within 1 to 2 hours of making contact. After death, 1529's victims experience accelerated state of decay, despite being in a cold mountain, which would actually decrease state of decay. Camp V on the northern approach. Several casualties there. Uh-oh, that's worse. Agent Blank in the permanent facility in China engaged in telescope surveillance. Facing the direction of the base, looked directly into the telescope, and it hypnotized the person through the telescope. That's bad. Was at room temperature, but still had frostbite. That's not good. And then we interviewed it. Tell me what happened when you encountered the creature. So this is interviewing a person, not the agent. 10 minutes after I left the summit, that's the hardest part of the climb. You reach the top and you're exhilarated and proud. Then you have to done the most difficult thing you've ever done in your life. You have to do it all again backwards. So you end up like the green boots. Surprise at least, we hadn't been told there was anyone else climbing that day. What happened to you when you got its attention? It looked right in the moment it started. Suddenly felt happy, relieved. It didn't feel right. Have you ever heard of paradoxical undressing? When your body starts to cool down, really cool down? Yes, okay. You believe you're imagining it, so I tried to shrug it off. Right away, the warmth and comfort, and that's when it all went to shit. Right away, all that warmth and comfort was gone. Suddenly I felt cold, colder than I'd been before, colder than I had the right to be. Mate's almost 30 meters off by now. I tried to yell, but it came out a whisper. How long did it take to reach you? The entity reached it in an hour. It grabbed the shoulders. It was really, really grumpy. Most anomalies like this are pretty grumpy, otherwise they wouldn't do these kind of things. Not words, I could hear it, but not with my ears. I saw images of people sitting back in hot tubs, laying by a crackling fire. Warm, happy, but I knew their faces. They were the faces I'd seen in books and pictures and people I'd seen all the way up the mountain. Okay, so you saw the people who died. You would refuse my gift. Go on. I could barely make sense of anything that was going on, but this thing, okay. Long story short, based on the short skim here, that's pretty cool. I like the idea that it thinks it's helping. I like the idea that, like, the souls are trapped in there. That's creepy crawly. That's pretty insane. So, yeah, that is... Oh, Sonia, you are joking. You're a monster. You're a monster, and you are getting 3 days D class for this. Believe it. But hey, we did find out a cool anomaly. So you know what? Not a total loss. You know what? I'm feeling generous. 2 days of D class. Chef Scott. Dr. Sherman, have you ever watched Eureka? Eureka is a dope show. Very SCP Foundation-like for the science side of things. Very enjoyable. Check it out if you can. Uh-oh, big lag? Really? We're doing this again? Hello, I'm new to this kind of stuff. Can you fill me in on SCPs and stuff? Well, Chance, the answer is yes. That's what I'm here for. But it is, in fact, it's the phrase I'm looking for. It's a very vast community. It's like getting into comic books. It's hard to know where to start. So the way you start is by finding people you like and friends and entertainers and creators who you like them and you agree with their takes and the SCPs they like, and then you just follow and chit-chat with them about SCPs and stuff. You gotta dive in and do it slow and see different things. Whatever you do, do not read every SCP in order from 1 to 8999. That's crazy talk. Strider, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. Christodire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Maybe trying to make lunar titanium from Gundam. I'm about to be annoyed at that. I bet I'm about to be annoyed at that. Lunar titanium. What the hell are you talking about? A material introduced in the original Mobile Suit Gundam. They also want to make a material that was strong, lightweight, and durable for its construction. At that time, they did not possess an adequate number of facilities to effect very large production and maintenance. Titanium isn't considered ideal, as it becomes brittle if subjected to large amount of stress over time, as well as being slightly more complicated to work and weld when compared to other alloys like steel, prompting the engineers to develop a new lightweight alloy that eventually came into being, UC-0064, known as Luna Titanium. Okay, they understood the assignment. They actually used titanium properly. How about that? They are not infected with SCP-022-J. I appreciate that greatly. Blessed be. Someone gets it. Sweet Demon Fluffy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cocktail in a coconut on your way past the commissary. Why do black holes make such cookies, and why can't I bring them in the break room anymore? What black hole are you talking about that makes cookies? Where are you getting it? And why would the cookies not be allowed in the break room? I guess because they're anomalous and we don't want to expose people to anomalous cookies unnecessarily. What in tarnation? This is strange. I'm interested to know more, but we need to test this. But first, you need to tell me where this black hole is. Naruto Uzumaki. Welcome to Overseership here at Site 42. We appreciate your service and your membership, as well as, hot damn, 20 gifted memberships. Site 42 staff who are newly minted members, if you got one of those memberships, you better thank Naruto Uzumaki, who is the boss overseer of this stream. Believe it. Starrider, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, we barely talk about this foundation. What do you think of the Mana Charitable Foundation? You think they are helpful or might be a twist, evil, malicious foundation undercover freaks? Let me take a quick peeky pie. Mana Charitable Foundation, the MCF hub on the SCP Wiki. Is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing emergency relief and humanitarian aid to underdeveloped areas around the world. It is non-sectarian and non-governmental, being the largest international paranormal charity. In 2030, it reporting having helped over 5 billion people cumulatively in over 130 countries and sovereign states, including formerly sub-Rosa enclaves such as 3 Portlands and Esterberg. Due to anomalous and anomaly-adjacent nature of its operations, much about the Mana Charitable Foundation was relatively unknown until after the publication of the Impasse event and the dissolution of the SCP Foundation. The Mana Charitable Foundation has received praises for its initiatives in improving living conditions globally, although allegations regarding mishandling of anomalous assets have been levied against the MCF, and its actions are oftentimes panned by the anomalous world. So, I think my opinion here is I'd complain more if we weren't dead. Because with the Foundation, with the SCP Foundation dead, I guess someone's got to pick up slack in helping the world. I don't necessarily like the way they do it. I think preserving normalcy is the right move, but, I mean, we're not around to do it, so I guess. Clone, thank you for donating again. Heading back to the X-Wing simulator, seems I've got enough attention to warrant being scouted for a group called Rogue Squadron. Hey, I understand what you're doing here, but don't bring too much attention to yourself. If you end up with some superstar, they're going to look into you and they're going to find your dual loyalties and you're going to have trouble. I understand you're having fun. It seems fun, but be careful, okay? Naruto Uzumaki, donating another 10 memberships to Site 42 staff. Make sure to thank your benevolent ninja lord. Should I say, instead of overseer, should I say Hokage? Is that right? W for Naruto Uzumaki, protector of the village and hero in the war against the White Names. Chance and Jensen's world. Are SCPs actually real? Out of character. The Foundation community, the SCP Wiki, never pretends to be real because there are kids out there who are stupid. And, you know, all kids are stupid to a point. But some kids are so stupid that they believe Slender Man is real and stab their friend because Slender Man told them to. The Slender Man stabbing is why internet creepypastas do not act like we are real anymore. So I will role play the Foundation all time. I will be a wonderful actor. We're all at the Renaissance Fair online having a good time, drinking our anomalous fluids and talking about funny history stories and improving. But if anyone asks if it's real, the answer is no, because that's not cool. But the SCP Wiki is real, and if you want to enjoy some really great stories, you can go to the SCP Wiki to check them out. Epic Fire Dragon 0, thank you for donating again. Copy that, red check mark is on it. Excellent work. Doug. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a chicken patty sandwich with mayonnaise on your way past the commissary. If a group of 5 level 20 Dungeons & Dragons characters arrive to our world via a one-way portal, what would the procedures be? That would be bad. But what we would do is we would go in and we would first send a very good talker. We would send a smooth talker to try and talk them into coming in willingly. And we would see if we could talk them into coming into a containment site, getting some tests done, see if we can send them back where they came from. And if not, seeing if we can keep them locked down and or maybe utilize them in containment of others. Oof, nostalgia just hit me in the face with the Doug theme. Yep, it came to my head, it happened. I genuinely feel bad for Slender Man's creator. It wasn't his fault at all, but I only imagine how terrible he felt after hearing the news of the stabbing. I know, right? That's gotta suck ass, for real. Please do not stab any on my behalf. Please do not stab any on behalf of the SCP Foundation. That would be great if you did not stab people. Stabbing people? Not cool, bro. Kilo Bravo Gaming, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Pop-Tart on your way past the commissary. I know what it does. Basically, it will data expunged. Great. That was so informative. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. SCP-168 shows a middle finger on its screen if you expose it to that thing, the peeping abomination. Didn't even know calculators could show emojis. You know what? I am not surprised at all that that thing elicited such a reaction. Not shocked at all. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Oh yeah, what should I grab from the commissary? You never told me. Oh, did I miss that? My bad. You should grab yourself some pigs in a blanket on your way past the commissary. Everyone in the chat, I've seen Desk mention it, and I've seen Cutie Ruby now mention it. Yes, if I ever go on a long rant, then the questions and the donations get backed up, but I always answer them. So don't worry if it takes me a little while, I definitely will get to you. For sure. Kilo Bravo Gaming, thank you for donating again. The tree outside my house just started screaming. How do I stop it? So here's my question for you, Kilo Bravo. Did the tree start screaming in the way that all trees naturally scream, which is in a frequency that can't be heard by human ears, but can be registered on proper instruments? Because if that's the case, then, I mean, someone just broke a branch and the tree's fine and it's going to be fine. It's in pain and it screamed. That's a natural reaction. That is real world science. I'm not making a joke here. That being said, If it started screaming audibly, like in a human voice perhaps, yeah, we'd better get some team on that and probably aerosolize, amnesticize the neighborhood to forget that that happened, and we'll move that tree to a containment center. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Samit, thanks. Walking there now. Oh, very good. Now I'm refreshing the browser because the browser is broken. We are having a whole issue with the browser right now. Naruto Uzumaki, Desk is sending me a question for you. Can I have an answer on my question before on SCP-1848, the Vaporizer? I will pull up SCP-1848, the Vaporizer, and in the meantime, send your question so we know exactly what you're asking about it. SCP-1848. Access denied. Ooh, it doesn't have a title. That's peculiar. You just want information on it, that's all. Okay. 1848. Previously Euclid, now safe. Previous iterations expunged. Containment iteration 7. Direct contact with 1848 is not permitted and should not be attempted under any circumstance. 1848 is contained in a single-room containment suite on Site 19's north wing. Okay, a Site 19 anomaly. Subsection 4. It is to be heavily guarded with no fewer than 8 regularly rotating guards and is constantly shifting staff. Footnote. Containment director should see revised procedures. While basic amenities are allowed, these requests are to be made through written statements, which are then carefully analyzed before being permitted. Revised procedures for containment lead eyes only. Well, I won't tell if you won't tell. 1848's containment team should be made up of people with low dynamic personality scores. It is paramount that 1848 only be monitored by those without significant interests, hobbies, or their strong feelings about subjects. Amnestic dosing is appropriate for those who develop such interests, and rotation of staff is only necessary when amnestics are no longer a viable option. So this anomaly is only containable by boring people. I see. Description. 1848 currently presents as a middle-aged Caucasian male, approximately 1.7 meters tall and 130 kilograms, the approximate height, weight, and appearance of Dr. Ellis Cartwright, the head of 1848's containment team. 1848 is known to change forms, but it has maintained its current form since the most recent revision of its containment procedures. During interviews with 1848, it is claimed to be over 150 different mythical and historical figures, including Raven, Coyote, Loki, Hermes, Anansi, Sasi, John F. Kennedy, and Jesus Christ. It never offers evidence to support these claims. Rather, people hearing them are simply convinced, usually through what they believe to be completely logical arguments. See Addendum 1848 interview sample. 1848 has been in Foundation custody for over 75 years, during which time it has breached containment on 386 occasions. 1848 does this by assuming the appearance of people, objects, or even locations which can be used to emotionally manipulate the viewer. First thought, fricking shapeshifters. God ram it. Most often, 1848 appears a human being or animal from the observer's past. In the past, actions would seem like innocuous to those observing them, giving advice to researchers about their career goals, helping fix a broken door, preparing a meal, always resulted in strongly negative outcomes, usually things which 1848 found amusing or humorous. While 3 people have been critically injured in these incidents, 1848 does not appear to be pursuing these attempts with malicious goals. Instead, it appears to find genuine amusement in its pranks and believes others do as well. I cannot believe I have not heard of this anomaly before today. My word, this entity is the basic level of the meme guy that everyone would like for being pretty powerful. Huh. Whoop, sorry for the earthquake. Okay, so while there are hundreds of recorded interviews for 1848, only a handful are considered completely safe for observation. Far too often, 1848's ability to convince people to perform tasks or open the containment chamber is conveyed to those observing it as entirely logical and sensible, even through text transcripts. A few examples retained here were chosen to educate new staff members about the dangers of non-standard communication with SCP-1848 and has a text communication rate of less than 0.35%. Okay, so be careful. Internalize the cognitohazards, protection protocols in your mind, recite your mantras, because this is going to get iffy. Warning, do not skim this section. Read it carefully. Before unlocking this document, please remember that a husticorn does not exist and is not real. At this time, if you doubt that fact, please stop reading the document and perform research on the term. When you are convinced, please proceed. So chat, I want to see the phrase, husticorns do not exist and are not real in the chat. Husticorn, Husticorn. Husticorns are not real and do not exist. I want to see it in the chat so I know you're all ready. Mahitos, I'm going to need you to leave the stream. Obviously, you are very easily affected by cognitohazards. I need you to leave the stream for this moment. Cooper, you are risking your lives and you're risking Foundation staff lives by falling for this trick right now. You are giving us a very, very bad cognitohazard resistance score. Honestly, it's good that we rooted you all out. So, okay, good to know. I will make sure your site directors, if you're not a Site 42 staff member, know that you need to be checked. Okay, moving forward. Desk. Be sure the filters protect those of the weak-minded and weak-willed sense. We need those people on staff too. Just like this anomaly needs boring people. Sometimes you need boring people. SCP-1848 appears to guard Alderman, as according to Alderman, a good friend from middle school that I have not seen in years. 1848 speaks first. Man, I am hungry. Are you hungry? I could probably eat. Do you want something? I do. You know what I could go for? A big, juicy steak. That does sound good. What sort of steak you like? Hell, way back when, I preferred bison, but now I like a husticorn. Husticorn? Never heard of it. That's some kind of cow? Oh yeah, it's the best kind of cow. See, they make sure that the cows are happy. You know happy cows give you more milk, right? I've heard something like that before, yeah. Well, happy cows give better meat, too. No shit. No shit at all, my man. They're delicious. How do they manage it? They make sure they're getting attention. You mean, those cows are getting laid all day, every day. Now I know you're fucking with me. No, on my honor. I am only preaching truth. And cows getting some means their meat tastes better? It does. It genuinely does. Hell, now I've heard everything. Oh no, you've not heard the craziest part. Crazier than well-fucked cows being the best meat? Even crazier. And what's that? It's the farmers. What are doing the damn fucking? What? Why the hell would they do that? Well, they originally had the bulls doing it, but they got worn out. Couldn't keep up with it. So the farmers had to start going out to the pasture to pleasure the lady cows. You're full of it. No, I swear. Every word of it is true. Every word of it is true. Every word. So you're telling me I should go diddle a cow for the best steak? Well, you don't have to do the whole cow. Just part of the cow will do it. What? Yeah, that's what the farmers figured out. They figured out that they could just hump a cow's flanks or anywhere they wanted to taste good and it would work. I promise you to this day, there are farms out there, husticorn farmers, who are grinding the nasty on their cows. And that works with any part of the cow. Any part. Best steak you ever had. This is 1848, people, for those who are asking. At least they are not fraternizing with anomalies. Just cows. Ugh. Guard Alderman was relieved on duty on a regular round, changed 5 minutes later. The next day, he was found in the Site 19 kitchen, pressing raw meat against his genitals. Of course he was. When approached by site security, he explained to them what he was doing and why, at which point 7 other members of site staff proceeded to do the same. Oh no. Oh no, so if someone else is affected by 1848, then you could also be affected by their affectedness. Oh, that's bad. That's bad, 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 bad. And by being bad, I mean it's not good. Warning, do not skim this section, read it carefully. Before unlocking the following document, please review Foundation protocols. It is not necessary anywhere in the procedural documents to urinate in your pants, nor have any of those facts been expunged. At no point will this be necessary. Once you are certain that it is not necessary for you to do so, please proceed. Listen, right now in the chat, I need you to type, "It is not necessary to urinate in my pants," to know that you're ready for what comes next in this document. You need to be sure it is not necessary to urinate in your pants unless SCP-1848's effects take hold. Chaos Insurgency! Actually, I am fine with you peeing yourself. I actually have no problem with you losers doing that. Okay, you're all ready. What did I just walk into? You're right. Whoever said, "What did I just walk into?" You walked into a document reading of SCP-1848, which is freaking nuts. Any dang way. Oh, false alarm, false alarm. They deleted the section of the document we were about to read, probably because it says document removed due to repeated incidents. They had to remove that part of the document because too many people peed their pants. So we're safe. We're safe. Dear God. Ugh. Addendum. Observations of SCP-1848. What follows is a short list of the various forms into which 1848 is changed. Remember that 1848 fully possesses the ability to change into seemingly limitless number of forms, even though it currently does not. Do not underestimate its ability to trick, fool, or obfuscate the truth. The Observer has turned into... it has turned into Dr. Everett Mann, a high-ranking Foundation employee. Dr. Edmund Casper, Agent Redacted. Dr. Howard Grant, Agent Bernard. Researcher Benice Malky, Dr. Eunice Walker, Researcher Vladim Eisenberg. It turned into Dr. Alto Clef. No, wait. Back up. It did not turn into these people. These are the people observing it. So we need to read what these people observe. Let me go back. Dr. Mann saw his deceased uncle. Dr. Edmund Casper appeared as a golden rain from the sky and encouraged Dr. Casper to be more open with his wife. And they ended up divorcing. I wonder what that was about. Agent Redacted, I don't care about you. Howard Grant, Bernard North, Malkiel. For Dr. Clef, 1848 appeared as an Arby's roast beef sandwich. Dr. Clef was confused and picked up the sandwich when asked. The sauce on the sandwich dripped free. Dr. Clef's shirt subsequently stained. Footnote. The stain responded normally to cleaning procedures. Dr. Clef's shirt was returned to him the following week. Why did 1848 turn into an Arby's roast beef sandwich? Specifically for Dr. Clef? Desk, by the way, please make a note in the back-end channels about the God of all tacos' question about goth mommy SCPs, because I think I have something in mind for that when this tangent is done. Dr. Sumerian looked at 1848, and it turned into SCP-2091. SCP-2091 is a bear and his granddaughter. Weird. No, not that. Okay, this thing is bananas. All right, well. Huh. Naruto Uzumaki, thank you for turning me on to this particularly bananas article. I did not know about 1848 before today. You all didn't know about 1848 before today, I don't think. And things are pretty weird there. Okay, so let's catch up with the donations from that long tangent. And by the way, we are currently 90 minutes into today's stream, leaving 90 minutes left in the stream. 90 minutes left in the stream. And okay, to quickly answer the goth mommy question, I'm going to classify SCP... What is the name of the entity? I gotta go into my own SCP readings from back in the day, because I believe I read this article, but it's an older one. So, organized by upload date. And go to the bottom. Down, 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 down. 1 of 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400. Now we're getting somewhere. I honestly believe it's in the black screen, so I'm going to go back to the very beginning and work my way up, rather than working my way down. Okay, so here... OC Do Not Steal's not it. Writer's Block, maybe? SCP-3616? 3616. Yes, SCP-3616 Writer's Block does, in fact, appear in various forms, some of which are goth mommies. If you encounter 3616, it will kill you. So there is that, but if you're asking about goth mommy SCPs, then you're probably asking for it anyways. So there is that. 3616 is my answer. And also, Desk is letting me know that Clef's wife is technically a mommy and evil. Therefore, Dr. Clef's wife could be considered a goth mommy. Maybe. Depends on what it wears that day, I guess. Alright, let's get back to the normal chat, shall we? Kilo Bravo Gaming, thank you for donating again. That tree you were talking about is just a blood-curdling scream. Alright, we will send some staff to remove that tree and move it to containment. You gather the neighbors so that we can have a easier time amnesticizing them. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. How do I become a member? I believe if you go to the YouTube channel page, the main channel page, then you can see a join membership thing. Especially if you click on one of our member-only videos, then it will ask you to join there. Clone, thank you for donating again. Overheard a name, potential person of interest for Foundation personnel, Izane Izard. Apparently they are the Director of Imperial Intelligence. All right, Desk brought up a database there. Let me take a quick look. Female humans, so not anomalous in that way. Do they have any anomalous abilities? Oh, she was cloned. Clones are technically anomalous, although I guess not in their universe, so maybe that's not so anomalous. Asserting her power. Okay, so not powers, but like power in the metaphorical sense. It does not seem that this person is anomalous, therefore we don't really have to deal with them, do we? It's just someone we want to keep an eye on since they're running a very large group of interest that does work in time with the anomalous, which is the Empire, because the Empire deals with the Sith, and the Sith are anomalous. Desk just let me know, Naruto Uzumaki with another 5 memberships, so hey, Epic Fire Dragon, maybe claim one of those, if you can be fast enough on the draw. Either way, thank you, Naruto, for donating, and thank everyone who grabbed a free membership there. You thank Naruto for your good fortune. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I just looked at the SCP-0000 ARC. I am not familiar with this anomaly. 0000 ARC. We have a 0000-EX, but we don't have a -ARC to my knowledge. I'm a little confused as to what you're talking about. Project Unfarmed, thank you for gifting a Site42 membership to the Site42 staff. We appreciate it. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. No idea if you're familiar, but with the Stargate be considered anomalous? I'm on the fence. Definitely, because it's alien technology. We can't make it ourselves, at least in the beginning. Therefore, it is anomalous. The general public doesn't know about it. We need to maintain normalcy. Stargates are anomalous. Jacob, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a turkey leg on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, we lost contact with Site 2. You wouldn't know anything about that, right? I certainly did not do anything to Site 2. I know nothing about why we would have lost contact with them at all. That's crazy talk. I did not quarantine them for reasons that are not obvious to the general staff, but are very important to the Site Directors Council. Naruto with another 10 gifted memberships. Hot diggity damn. Make sure you thank Naruto if you got a membership from them. And Naruto, your war on the green names is mighty and, or your war on the white names is mighty and just. Good work. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. All the code stuff to write an SCP is confusing. Ha, yes, I will admit, I have been known to go into articles that have the dialogue boxes or the HTML, CSS elements that I want and just copying the code. A little code plagiarism, because I do not know anything about coding CSS. And also I don't use it very often. I like the articles a little plainer anyways. Although that might just be because I'm jealous and unable to do the coding myself. Desk. Yeah, down with Whitey. Names. Perfect. SCP-0000 ARC is in SCP-000-EX. Well, as long as I have that open, let's take a quick peek. Thank you for donating again, Chris the Direwolf Boy. Naruto, you have reached your limit, and your next mass membershiping will be on the 25th. We will look forward to it. Believe it. All right, so let me find ARC by doing a database search here. 1 of 16. Where's the one that matters, though? There we go. Oh, no, that's not a link. The existence of SCP-0000-ARC is to be concealed as a Foundation-made phenomenon caused by perpetual mass amnesticization events. No other procedures for 0000-ARC containment have been found possible. It is a phenomenon affecting 100% of the current human population, referred to by civilians as deja vu. Though the effects of this anomaly have been found to be anti-mimetic, assuring individuals affected by its existence as a natural one, a total of 14 individuals, the O5 Council and Paul Verlaine, have been found to be resilient to this effect. Individuals affected by this have been found to repeatedly fall off synchronization with local reality, causing them to inevitably lose control of their bodies, totally collapsing their consciousnesses. This is deep. This is a lot. And what was it you said about this? You just looked at it. Okay, do we need to amnesticize you now? That's pretty deep lore. I don't think that regular agents are supposed to see stuff like that. Dr. Sherman, when the scramble goggles failed, were they fixed after? Just a normal gamer, we were not able to successfully rework the scramble goggle technology to my knowledge. It is known as a failed experiment. And Bill, Siren Head, as most people know it, the Trevor Henderson creation, is not an SCP, but there is an SCP named Siren Head as one word, meant as a joke, because people kept thinking Siren Head is an SCP. Siren Head is anomalous, but since it's not on the SCP database, it is not an SCP. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. You are familiar with Stargate. Dope. Quick question. Favorite character? Mine is Jack. Favorite Stargate character? That's hard to say. I mean, you can't really go wrong with MacGyver, though, can ya? I mean, I'm gonna go Jack 1, Teal'c 2. Because Teal'c is great. There's some really good Teal'c episodes, too. Dr. Sherman, I've been trying to learn the pen trick these past days. Getting decent, but not as good as you. I drop the pen sometimes and I have trouble with my pinky. But other than that, half decent. So, congratulations getting good at all in a short time. Because to get as good as I am with this pen, I have been spinning this pen for over 10 years. I have been practicing since I was still in Florida. And this is my 10-year anniversary for living in California instead. So I have been spinning this pen for 12 to 13 to 14 years at this point. That is why I am so coordinated with it. So don't feel bad about your improvement. It is slow and steady wins the race here. Keep practicing and you'll get good too. Clone, thank you for donating again. It's rumored Izzard is in charge of something called Lusankia. I think it's some sort of prison or brainwashing program. Some pretty messed up shit if half the rumors I've heard are true. Woof, that is pretty hardcore. Maybe we do want to contact this person. If they're good at imprisonment and brainwashing, maybe they could be used for Foundation purposes. That's not a terrible idea. Candace Reed, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cappuccino on your way past the commissary. Try out SCP-1981. SCP-1981. Yep, Ronald Reagan cut up while talking. A classic. Both for SCP researchers to watch on a fun night of drinking, and for anyone who does not like former President Ronald Reagan, which I believe you are always right to dislike former President Ronald Reagan. But that's just me. He was quite the snappy dresser, I'll give him that. Epic Fire Dragon, you successfully became a member. Congratulations, we thank you for your membership and your service. And thank you for donating again to inform me of that. Krista Dyer Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. I don't think so. Worrying. The nickname for many voices is Ketchup Puppy. Lol, that is quite the nickname for 939, a very dangerous anomaly. You gotta watch out when you're giving anomalies cute nicknames because people forget they will eat your face. The desk. Trickle down these nuts. Got him. Jacob, thank you for donating again. What happens if Funtime Foxy / Lolbit for the FNAF universe looked at a picture of 096? As if human souls haunt the animatronics, how would this work? Human soul, animatronic with artificial intelligence and CPUs going, because the robot itself would not activate 096, and the soul doesn't have a human brain to conceptualize 096, and some of the human souls don't actually control the robots fully in a way that you could say they're sapient. That is very complex right there. I'm impressed with your hypothetical. That takes up, there's a lot of layers to that. And I don't really know, but what I do know is we're not going to test it because then we would have to release 096 from containment and recapture it, and I hate that idea. Chaos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a funnel cake on your way past the commissary. Would the procedure for an anomaly that produces anomalous animals with unique effects be to terminate or contain the produced anomalies? So it depends. If you think about the Red Lake anomaly, those things are very dangerous, so we destroy them on the spot. Especially because it does infinite entities, so it's just as well we destroy them. Meanwhile, certain anomalies that generate anomalies, we do let them continue to generate depending on rate of generation, and if we can successfully both contain and, learn new things about the anomalies. So that is a heads or tails situation. We do both depending on the situation. Can you tell us the real reason why they don't just keep a bag on 096's head? Well, that's very simple. It's that it doesn't keep the bag on its head. Eventually, the bag comes off because we leave it alone and then it pulls the bag off. So, I mean, we bag it. If we could bag it, we would, but it just doesn't. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Dr. Darkstar is officially a sponsor. Let's go. Hell yeah. Aether, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman 0762 has broken containment once again. God damn it, Abel. All right, I know the team is going to start shooting, so let's just sit back and hope they do a fully thorough merc job on Abel this time. Please can you watch Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency? Robot Puppet, I am interested in watching that show, despite the involvement of banned from the Wiki creator, Max Landis. But I hear the show is very SCP adjacent, and I am interested because despite the reputation of the creator, I do think that I've heard it's a good show. And on the realm of supporting creators who are problematic, I've got to figure out my balance on if I care that much about Max Landis or not, and then how much watching the show would support him. It's a weird line. Like, we don't talk about Dr. Bright because we don't want to improve the author of Dr. Bright's reputation. So here at Site 42, we don't talk about Dr. Bright for that reason. For H.P. Lovecraft, you can separate from the artist better, at least in the supporting him sense, because H.P. is very long dead. Whereas the creator of Rurouni Kenshin still gets royalties, so purchasing Rurouni Kenshin things, despite the things that he did, is a lot iffier. So I'll work out the balance. I'll tell you about it more later. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Copy that. Heading to my dorm now. By 3 moons of Pyria Abel. Oh, good luck. I've been at Site 42 for about 2 weeks at this point, and I can't find the gym. Could you point me in the right direction of the gym, Dr. Sherman? Well, here's the trick. the gym moves. The gym moves, and it specifically moves every time you try to enter and exit it, because it moves as far from your dormitory as possible while still being on site. It very much wants you to walk to the gym to warm up. So the gym moves to the farthest possible doorway from your dormitory. So just go to the other side of the site, you'll find it. Robot Puppet, you can just pirate the show if you don't want to support it. That's right. Totally a thing that we totally don't do, supporting artists, is pirate things. I'm not from Tampa, Florida, the pirate capital of the world that has a pirate-themed Mardi Gras parade every year. I'm certainly not familiar with piracy in any way, shape, or form. Clone, thank you for donating again. Out of character, but if you ever want to get more into Star Wars, I would heavily recommend the Rogue Squadron series. Audible has amazing audiobook versions. Huh, I need to check that out. I do enjoy me some Star Wars from time to time. As an artist who's had their art pirated before, this gives me mixed feelings. See, Zerdrin, that's why you gotta be careful with how you do it. You gotta do it for moral reasons and not for immoral reasons. It's a balancing game. Black and gray across the world. Clone, thank you for donating to clarify expanded universe. Gotcha. Oh, and it seems I missed some doodles. No, I missed Sally's doodles because they're not posting them. I saw that message and got distracted by the words I was saying. Coles, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Twizzler on your way past the commissary. Why don't we just stick Doomslayer on 682? Well, my universe doesn't have access to a Doomslayer. Would be nice, but also Doomslayer's ability to go bigger and stronger versus 682's ability to grow bigger and stronger. I'm not sure that would actually work. I'm still on the fence about that. Pronounce Pyrea. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for donating again to tell me, Epic Fire Dragon. Lastest Darkness, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a red vine on your way past the commissary. Would you like to play Voices of the Void? At some point, I think so. I hear it's pretty SCP adjacent in the spookies. Could be fun, could be fun. Site 42 staff, we are currently 1 hour and 10 minutes away from the end of stream. 1 hour and 10 minutes away from stream. Also, give me just 1 second. I've got a background message here that would be very good for me to check. As soon as my browser stops having a seizure. In the meantime, mayonnaise is not an SCP nor horseradish Edward. Now, Dijon mustard, that's a whole different conversation. Dr. Sherman, I'm writing an SCP. Do you have any tips? I was formerly known as Site 1, by the way. Okay, well, hello, Dr. Silver, formerly Site 1. And go to my video on this channel, SCP Writing Tips from SCP Writers. I got a whole compilation for you. This is the second time you've pronounced my name Sherman, Sonia. So I assume you're making fun of the time that I told you guys about my boss and copying his language tics. I get you. I see your humor here. 049 got the gender switching stone again. What should I do? Nothing. 049 is allowed access to the gender switching stone as long as they fulfill their duties to the mobile task force they're assigned to. Right now, there's no problems. Don't worry about it. All right. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. The stream has been fun. Gonna go listen to some music and sleep. Also won't be here for tomorrow's stream. We'll celebrating BFF's birthday. Have a good rest of your evening, Dr. Sherman. Will you take care of yourself as well? Have good sleep. Be well rested for your celebration tomorrow, and we'll see you the next time we see you. No, Des, the back-end message was not supposed to be you. I have a different back-end message to be checking. That is, if this works. I might not be able to check from here. Blinded by the light. Why is it white browser? Please dark mode help. Yada, yada, yada. All right. Dr. Theron Sherman, sign on the line. Oh, I missed a box. There we go. Now, please tell me what I need to know. Checking on the chat while that loads. I found SCP-420-J who wants some. Hey, only if you are off shift. You may not partake during work hours. Careful now. Glad he doesn't know a GOC agent is here. Wait. No. There may be Global Occult Coalition members and other groups of interest in the chat, because they are double agents working with us to spy on them. What do you think Clone's doing with the Rebel Alliance? Therefore, it's fine if they're here as long as they are also away from people who might make them if they are spotted. That's all. Okay, this behind-the-scenes thing I'm looking at is my MRI results just came in for my foot. And unfortunately, it's all medical jargon that I can't really read. I need to wait for my doctor to actually decipher this. As far as I can tell, everything is pretty well fine. So that sounds good to me. That would be good news. Especially if it meant that we could continue on a way that helped me to heal so I could walk again. But we'll wait for the doctor to actually read that rather than the automated results. That's why I had to be blinded, because the medical site is proper no dark mode. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Is there an SCP that is so horrific that it gives you nightmares? Nah, I am pretty strong against SCPs giving me spooks. 2718 is very scary, but not in the way that it's nightmare-inducing. Coles, thank you for donating again. Why are the iPods locked up while the coffee machine that makes a literal cup of joe isn't? Like, one is much more dangerous than the others. Yes, but one of them actually has beneficial uses to us. What do the iPods do? I mean, yes, we can use them to guard 173, but that was deemed unethical. Meanwhile, we can use 294 as long as it's used safely. There's a guard there for a reason, to make sure certain researchers don't do anything stupid. Epic Fire Dragon, wait, what happened to your foot? Thank you for donating again. Back in October, as you guys may know if you follow me on social media, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and all, I do what's called the Foundation Fitness Initiative. I want all of my SCP Foundation staff mates to be healthy and strong, because when a containment breach happens, you don't need to be the fastest researcher, only not the slowest. And so I am a regular gym rat. I lift, I run, I do all sorts of exercise like that. alongside teaching ballroom dancing. So for my day job, I dance for 8 hours a day, several days a week, and I also go to the gym every morning, or I did, until I also took up doing bar classes. Because bar classes are awesome. You're doing ballet and Pilates business. It's very difficult exercise, and it was very good for cardio. The problem is that I ended up overpressing my limits, and I irritated my Achilles tendon so much that it felt like it was going to peel off the bone, which was, as you can imagine, not fun. So I've been out of commission since October 15th, waiting for my foot to heal so I could walk more than 3 to 5 minutes a day. And the good news is we're up to 5 to 10 to 15 minutes a day, but I still can't walk for very long, and we need to go a little further. So once I am back in action and back at the gym, I will be the happiest SCP researcher that's ever been. But for now, I am just milling around, letting my foot heal. Robot Puppet. Yes, I did address that you could pirate a TV show to not support its creator if they're a bad person. I did catch that earlier. I think I said something about it. You might have missed it. I went to a random page on the wiki, and it gave me the flesh that mates. Help. Oh, Lord. Yeah, get out of the flesh that mates. You do not want the flesh that mates. Meanwhile, Sheeny. Cortisone shots are well indicated for plantar fasciitis, which is problems in the arch in the front of the heel. But my problem is specifically the Achilles tendon, the back of the heel. And tendons are much more likely to rupture with cortisone shots than the musculature is. And if a tendon ruptures, it takes even longer to heal than musculature does. If you rupture your plantar with a cortisone shot, it recovers okay. But for the Achilles tendon, they really don't want to do it. And as a dancer, I really don't want to do it either. So that's the lowdown there. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. What if Mallow and D-Class and a D-Class were put into the Clockworks on the very fine setting? We don't put biological things into 914. We've already talked about this. We're not running any test. We stopped that after the chimp test. Why Not Guitar? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a chicken tender and fries meal on your way past the commissary. Hope things are well. They are right now. I've been trying to find an SCP involving a pink candy that makes you explode. Also, SCP-099 made its way, not his. Look at the title of the stream. It's an it. 999 is an it, not a he. Come on now. Come on. You know better. You know better. We don't humanize the anomalies. Also, SCP-099 made its way to the motor pool again. How do we stop this? It is a slipping hazard. Well, we need to lock the door first and foremost. We need to start locking doors so it won't come over there in the first place. Why does it keep going to the motor pool? It's not like we stock candy over there. And meanwhile, you asked about an SCP involving a pink candy that can make you explode. Well, I'm not familiar with that one, but I can try and search the database. Let's start simple. It sounds like you might be talking about SCP-330. Okay, I didn't need that. Eyeballs are for suckers, I guess. This is not the database. Please bring me to the proper database. SCP-330 appears to be a small, round, stainless steel bowl filled with a variable amount of individually wrapped pieces of candy. Taped to the side of the bowl is a handwritten note reading, "Take no more than 2, please." And if you take more than 2, you explode, right? Test involved remote manipulation by D-class personnel result in operators' hands being removed despite no direct contact. So it doesn't make you explode, it just removes your hands. That's different than exploding, unless it goes further. I don't see anything about exploding, although I am just skimming. But at least I told you 330 was the right anomaly, so that helps. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Dr. Dark Star, officially safely in my dorm. Good work. Does the safety dance make you immune from psychic attacks or being psychically pushed? Interesting. Let me look up that particular kinetoglyph. SCP Safety Dance is SCP-3688. In case you're unfamiliar, the Safety Dance is a series of kinetoglyphs that, when performed in sequence and with a sufficient degree of accuracy, causes the performer to become functionally invincible for the duration. This invincibility is achieved via the violation of a number of fundamental principles of physics. Many of the movements required involve the whole body and have been described as rhythmic and energetic. The movements required by 3688 for successful activation of its properties are complex. Approximately 85% of Foundation personnel attempting to learn the dance have been unable to do so, but are structured in a way that once started, they can be repeated indefinitely. Successful activation of 3688 begins once the first 9 to 10 seconds of the sequence has been accurately completed and can then be continued for as long as the performer is able. No method of stopping a performer of SCP-3688 against their will has been found, though bodily functions and requirements for sustenance are not affected by the process. So, let's see. Different versions of the kinetoglyph are listed. And the answer is yes. You cannot stop the person from doing the dance by any means. That means psychic attacks are also stop it. Oh, why not guitar? Desk is informing me that 2396 also is a candy-related anomaly that causes bad things to happen to male-identified humans. Although this turns them into candy, it looks like. And rarely, it turns them into unicorns. I did not know it turned them into unicorns. That's news to me. Explode. All right, let me clear some of these browsing tabs. I have a lot of tabs open right now. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Yeah, I may have had to hide in an office to avoid Abel. I don't know whose office, but nobody was in there. Listen. First of all, Robot Puppet and Mary G, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. If you're hiding in an empty office, I just want you to be careful. Where is it? Where is it? None of these are the right one. Man, it annoys me when I can't find an anomaly that I'm looking for. You would be fluent in kinetoglyphs. Kinetoglyphs, of course I would be. They're dancing. I am the dance master of Site 42, obviously. I can show you the moves. Remember blue shirt dance? We did blue shirt dance. Desk. This is not going to be a crash out because I can't find the things on the database. Because I will find the things on the database. So there won't be a crash out required. I am very worried about my capacity to crash out because I don't know where this anomaly is. I know if I read it earlier or later in my career, so I'll start by the start up here. Okay, take care of yourself. It's Halloween, Golden Enlightenment, Retroactive Reaper, Asteroidia, Ghoulish Tale, Alex Thorley gets a gift horse, Hate the Message, Not the Messenger, Man Without a Face, Japucha, I'm with the Foundation, Lucky Bucky, The Incredible Miraculous Diving Horse, Sic Semper Tyrannosaurus, Row, Tidal.wave, The Thinking Man's SCP, Lots of Pasta, Small Town Living, Lava Sharks, Addressing the Second, Master Plan, Amnesia Was Her Name, You Don't Know Her, She Works at a Different Site, All Is Calm, All Is Well, Happy New Year, Nothing Changed, Self-Propagating Danger, Magician's Tombstone, Unwrapped, We Didn't Start the SCP, Micro Shark, Marooned, Omnipresent, Shrewsbury Key, Bubbly, Spider Song, Break Room, Happiest Place on Earth, 100-4, Smoke Signals, with apologies to John Green, Herald of Man, Toothy, Sword That Cuts Anything, Amazing Non-Existent Beast, All That's Left of What Once Was Burned, Cheese is Risen, Exactly the Kind of Genie, So You Can Live in Light, Adabsentia, Aging Commitment Site, no. I haven't found it yet. Okay. So this anomaly is strange because it takes place in first person. It is an SCP where there is a speaker talking to you. And the speaker that is talking to you is berating you. And there's a desk with a moldy bagel in it and flies. I haven't searched for the flies. Maybe the flies will tell me what's up. SCP Desk Flies. Come on. No. Has to have the word desk. Yes! I did it. I did it. No crash out because I got it way faster today. We are talking about SCP-6352, titled Mother Died Today. And that's why I had no idea what the title was, because what the hell is that title? But it is a Department of Unreality tale, and it is woof. It is woof is what it is. It is a rough read if anyone has ever been mean to you. It is like if you were the subject of SCP-8980. That's what SCP-6352 is. You getting SCP-8980'd in first person. So, be careful. Content warning if you go to read that one. Glad I found it. Now, Project Unfarmed. So trying to send a super chat and it's not working. Do you have any sort of credit card linked up to your YouTube account. You might not have a payment form set up to your YouTube account. That may be the problem. I'm not sure, though. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating 2 more times. The pink candy is part of 330. And then, oh, that was only 1. I read it wrong. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I found a watch that has an hourglass symbol. It doesn't tell time. What should I do with it? I am not familiar with this anomaly, so I do not know. Usually, it's don't mess with any anomaly you find or any random object at the Foundation. You never know what it's going to do. Wait, is this the Omnitrix? Is that what you're talking about? Are you sending me a Ben 10? A 10 Ben 10? Yeah, it sounds to me like you're talking about a 10 Ben 10. A 10 Bennison. All right, well, I found a watch that has that hourglass symbol. It doesn't tell time. What should I do with it? Leave it where it is and do not touch it. Do not touch it because we know what happens when that thing grabs you. Do not do it. Do not do it. Guy preaching in an SCP live stream is crazy. Half of the SCPs here are gay. Yeah, that's true. A lot of SCPs are pretty gay. Although people showing up in the chat and talking about praising Jesus happens all the time. That's just the kind of spam that some people make it their mission to do, which is hilarious because they say they want you to accept Jesus, but which Jesus? We contain 4 of them. So it's like, what? Do you want me to devote my life to bread Jesus? I'm sorry. I'm on a gluten-free diet right now. That was a joke. I'm not really. But I would indeed love a grilled Jesus right now. So if we could get bread Jesus and milk Jesus together and have a grilled Jesus, that'd be great. Angel Miles, you're a Christian? That's great. I was raised in the Catholic and did the Baptist church for a while too. I am a-religious. I don't really mind with religious people. I only mind it when they infringe on other people's rights. It is not good religiosity to hate others. I choose to worship for Jesus. Well, hey, Edward, if you like going to Jesus land, then that's between you and your vor Jesus God. Friendly reminder to people who take medication to take their medication. Well, that's very nice of you, Topaz. And on top of that, hey, if you haven't meditated today, do that. Since I said it wrong, you might as well do it. And also hydrate and exercise and take care of yourself. We got to be the best Foundation researchers we can be. The world is a dangerous place. And we got to be in our tip-top shape to do our jobs. Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Praise the sun, Jesus. Ah, a fellow Soulsborne fan. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Wait, why do we have 4 Jesuses in containment? You haven't been here for this speech, bro? Broski, Brobraham Lincoln, George Washington, Brody, my brodacious bromigo. We have 4 different Jesuses in Foundation custody. We have SCP-3305, that's Bread Jesus. We have SCP-029-J, that is Uber Driver Jesus with a sick ride. We have SCP-5991, which is Vor Jesus. Had a long conversation about that yesterday. Ugh. And then we have SCP-6542, which is Milk Jesus, otherwise known as Jesus. Those are the 4 Jesuses. Yes. The 4 Jesuses in containment. So when people want to talk about Jesusing, it's like, okay, but which one? Which one? Meditation is a good thing no matter what religious affiliation you have. Correct, Sheeny. Sometimes some quiet time and quiet contemplation is important. I got into it due to yoga, and it helps. Brosidon, King of the Broshin. Hell yeah, Pink Program, you are correct. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself, I guess, a chef's knife at the commissary, because I have a problem. The potato is fighting back again. Yeah, well, yeah, let's grab yourself a paring knife and get to work. Jeremiah the Legend, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a brownie on your way past the commissary. Hi. Hi. What would happen if 096 got infected by the cordyceps fungus? 096, because it is not what we can tell about it is it's not particularly sapient. It's not all there. That tells me that it would be very easy to overwrite its brain. And so both the cordyceps fungus, the 035, none of them can touch 096, because we do not want to give them a basically invincible body. Holly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And Desk, thank you for reminding me. Make sure to grab yourself, Holly, some butterbeer on your way past the commissary. Have you heard of SCP-1765, aka The Sisters? I don't think so. Collective designation of a group of 3 semi-corporeal entities, typically manifesting as vaguely humanoid, off-white silhouettes. Display a capacity to willfully weaken the structure of reality in their immediate presence. Great. Allowing them limited but potent control over temporal and physical distortions within a substantial range. Instances of 1765 are capable of speech, speaking in 3 differently toned voices, described by listeners as feminine, seem to possess individual and consistent personalities. First introduced to Area 37 following a successful raid by Foundation forces on a Serpent's Hand cell located in a nearby city. Several suspected anomalous artifacts, as well as 15 captured Serpent Hand operatives, were retrieved and brought back to Area 37. Love when we have a successful mission. During preliminary examination of three of the retrieved artifacts, a small wooden loom, an enamel needle, and a glass eye. All 3 instances of SCP-1765, henceforth known by -1-2-3, appeared and addressed the attendant personnel, researcher blank. Conversation was recorded in the testing chamber. Greetings, esteemed members of the Foundation. We come to you with auspicious news. Oh, great. Let me do the introductions. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Chatter, chatter, chatter. His tongue crumbles to dust. He loses consciousness. Moving around Area 37, causing problems, causing problems. I don't like them. That's my answer to that. I don't like them. I find them to be frustrating. I don't like spooky ghosts melting people's tongues. Not my favorite thing. Brandon, there is no SCP Fight Club. I don't know what you're talking about. The upstairs break room is not going to have a Fight Club for SCPs. Just don't worry about that. It's not happening at all. Maria, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a orange on the way past the commissary. Sir, anomaly of viper with spider tail. Anomaly of viper with spider tail. Do spiders have tails? A spider with a tail would in and of itself be an anomaly, right? You got me confused. You got me confused, man. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. I was completely off-site for about 2 weeks. No contact with Foundation personnel. Well, good to have you back. Make sure you are reacclimating and you do your debriefing proper then. Jekyll and Hyde, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a mysterious potion on your way past the commissary. Hyde let 049 out for the 5th time this week. Well, yes, Hyde's on the team with 049 on the Mobile Task Force. They're obviously working together, and I think they're kind of having a thing, but I don't want to breach the subject because I am absolutely not interested. Terragal, thank you for donating again. I have a knife, but it has a gun, and the Mobile Task Force, help. I have a knife, but it has a gun, and the Mobile Task Force, help. That is a strange sentence. I am not sure what that means. Clone, thank you for donating again. Doctor, requesting permission to retain the R2 astromech droid given to me by the rebels upon my return to Site-42. Little guy's growing on me, and he's proving to be a very useful piece of equipment. Listen, I'm not sure about that, because it could be recording things that we are hiding. I don't like the sound of this. I'm sorry, but we cannot have a little astromech droid running around recording our secrets. What if it escapes again and hands over those recordings to the Rebel Alliance? Does not sound great. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Already debriefed. And yeah, but let's keep an eye out for Terragal, because I don't know what's up with that situation. I looked up Google payment forms, and it's all about getting money, and I don't understand why I'd still be able to gift memberships or buy blank super chats. Very peculiar, but a workaround we can cheat at is if you donate a blank super chat, Desk will keep an eye out in the chat and send your question to me in the back end. That could be a cheater's method to do it if the tech is not cooperating. Are there any queer SCP/anomalies? Komodo for life, there are actually a bunch of queer SCPs and anomalies, and you should keep an eye out because as of starting with Pride Month in the next couple of days, each of our daily streams that we do so far, I will recommend to you guys, like a book club, a LGBTQIA themed SCP to go read. I'll do it toward the end of streams along with my favorites, and we'll all read it and then go on to the next day. And so when that comes up, you will be ready. I have asked on Twitter and Threads and Blue Sky for the SCP community to suggest some. That way, there will be a whole bunch of them that the community has recommended that I can tell you guys. Because, you know, I don't know them all, but the community writes a lot of them. I mean, the SCP Wiki is pretty gay after all. So they're going to tell me them, and I'm going to pass them on to you. You'll be getting it straight from the SCP author community's mouth, as well as fans, because some fans are suggesting some too. Either way, it's all good. I love you, Sherm. Well, thank you, Cyrus. Your package is coming soon. I hope you like it, but it's going to take a very long time to decipher everything. If you decide to put in a video, but I'm not forcing you anyway, I'm leaving now. Bye. Well, farewell, and oh God, I am notoriously bad at puzzles. So that would be very funny to watch, or I'll figure it out off screen. Maria, thank you for donating again. Viper with spider lore for a tail, sir. Spider lore? So it is a viper, and its tail looks like a spider, which it uses to lure prey. That's quite interesting. Okay, I've not heard of that before. That's pretty cool. Sounds like stream content to me. Sheeny, you guys want to ridicule me being bad to solve a puzzle for ages and ages? I mean, I'm not shocked at that, actually. That doesn't shock me at all that you guys would be entertained at that. You're all You're all monsters. You love mocking me in my moments of pain. I am supremely mockable. I get it. Terragal, thank you for donating again. The potato has mind control and is using it on Mobile Task Force. A mind control potato! Taking over the Mobile Task Force. Alright, you need to find a non-sapient anomalous object that can distract the Mobile Task Force and the potato. I'm at a loss. You're in a bad place, man. Sheeny, I was talking about helping figure it out, to be honest. Ah, I see. That is much more kind than my interpretation of the chat enjoying my crash outs. Edward! Oh my gosh. As much as I hate to say it, literally hate to say it, Terragal, Edward has a point. You may want to run to SCP-729-J's cell and use that to disable them. I bet it'll work. Jekyll and Hyde, thank you for donating again. Hyde here, give us R2-D2. Wait, is it specifically that droid? That droid that has gone through the entire arc of everything in that universe? No, we're dissecting that droid for information. It is the most knowledgeable of all the droids. Come on now. Clone, thank you for donating again. We could give it a memory wipe upon my return to avoid such a possibility from occurring. No, we don't memory wipe it when you return. First we study the data, then we memory wipe it. That's how we do it. We get the data, the juicy, juicy data. Oh, we're going to know so many things. We're going to know so many things. That's just how the Foundation likes it. Cassie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a espresso lemonade on your way past the commissary. Have you found a solution to the bag of holding potatoes yet? A solution? I don't think we need a solution to that. It is just leave it right side up so it doesn't spill. It doesn't fall out unless you turn it over. But there's no solution. It's safe. It's fine. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. I can wipe R2's memory. I want to work on R2-D2. After we get the intel. However, can confirm it is not R2-D2, sadly. Thank you for clarifying that, Clone, and being the one to disappoint everyone in the chat. Aether, thank you for donating again. Doc, we have a problem with 076-2 and 073. So I'm assuming the Mobile Task Force hasn't successfully neutralized 076-2 yet. Don't worry, 073 will handle it. Terragal, thank you for donating again. All I did was put a potato in on very fine. That's why we follow protocols with 914. Jesus Christ. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Thoughts on Sanctuary Network? I am unfamiliar with this. The Sanctuary Network. Science fiction, fantasy. 8 webisode series. Show centers on Dr. Helen Magnus, so we I'm already getting Magnus Institute vibes. It's a sci-fi show. I like sci-fi shows. They're usually pretty fun. Okay, it looks like it's very SCP Foundation adjacent. With a secret society that is hiding anomalies. Cool. I'm unfamiliar, but I do like TV shows about hiding anomalies, so that is right up my alley. Hi, I've been having an odd day. My coworker came up to me after their abnormality shift and has only been repeating hello and I love you. Should I be concerned? No. All you need to do is respond with the callback, would you tell me your name? That'll clear it right up. Honestly, I'm shocked you forgot the code phrase. Jekyll and Hyde, thank you for donating again. Hyde, I've made a riot before. I can do it again. I will throw you in the clink. Careful yourself. Calm yourself. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. I'll still wipe the memory. All right, probably important to do that. Clone, thank you for donating again. Now hold on, R2's been around since the Clone Wars. We can still learn a lot from little guy. I want the data. That's all I want. I want the data. Yo, do you like SCP-9000? We don't have a 9000 yet. Look at the database before you ask questions. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. At this point, I've been given permission to access the cameras to monitor experiments remotely. 99 keeps sleeping on my lap, so I'm not allowed to move. Oh, that's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. Kronos, thank you for... Is this your first donation of the day, or is this your second? First donation of the day. So grab yourself a jelly donut on your way past the commissary. Back at it again. I know the Foundation has encountered some ocean nightmares before. So what about Subnautica's gargantuan Leviathan? Any thoughts? So, very literally, we would need to contain them the same way we do the Leviathan SCP-169, which is monitor the sea around it and dissuade boats from entering the area. We'd create a legend like the Bermuda Triangle. And that would be our way of keeping sailors away so that we could keep the anomaly hidden. By the way, Site42 staff, I am seeing that we are 20 minutes from the end of stream. 20 minutes. It's smaller than the SCP Leviathan by a lot. That's great, Maya X4. That means we could easily contain it. That's good news. Unfailing Eagle, thank you for what I believe might be your first donation of today. So make sure to grab yourself a bratwurst on your way past the commissary. Howdy, Dr. S-Man. I'm waiting for approval to test SCPs with TTRPGs. Hypothesis. Having anomalies take on the role of human personnel using Call of Cthulhu, GURPS, Black Ops, or Delta Green, we could gauge their level of empathy. Huh. I worry about that. I mean, what I really worry about is I think you're just trying to find an excuse to play D&D with a bunch of SCPs. And while we are allowed to have them have some social time, it's not normally with staff. The anomalies and the staff don't socialize together. So I'm going to look into your proposal, but you could tell why I might be worried about your intentions here. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. When I wipe the data, I will send you a copy, Dr. S. Roger, roger. Dr. Sherman, someone asked me to make an acid specifically for jelly. Should I make it? Should I be worried for 999? Well, who is this someone? That's my question. My question is, who is this someone? And what did they do? What did they tell you? Why do they want to use it? Give me the details. And then give me their exact location, because I've got some plans. Hi, Kodos. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some pancakes on your way past the commissary. What are your thoughts on using temporal loops to train mobile task force staff? I love it in theory, but chrono sickness comes up a lot, unfortunately. We've got to be really careful with that, because some people are not made for that kind of training. Chris the Dire Wolf, thank you for donating again. What if I teach 999 how to talk somehow? I don't know how yet, but I would like to try. It doesn't have a mouth. And unlike SCP-4521, which is a tree, and we know trees can scream without a mouth, and that's why we're trying to make 4521 scream, we don't know that whatever 999 species is ever screams. So that means the whole talking thing is probably off the table, right? I would assume. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Doc, you got me to fall off my bed from laughter at the Roger Roger. Oh, yeah, that entered my lexicon far ago, and I say it all the time. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, it makes sounds. Well, yes, but those are burbles. Those are slimy burbles. Those are bubbles. I don't know. I mean, it seems far-fetched, and the only reason I'm worried is because I don't want to devote a lot of resources to a hopeless cause. We're not doing anything intense right now. I don't need this crazy music. Dr. Clef has thoughts about time loop training. If they don't get it the first time, I ain't waste another go-round on it. Well, there's that too. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again, but oh no, I think I broke my Wingstead Medical. Yeah, we'll get a team sent your way. That's a problem. Clone, thank you for donating again. Does it mean Dr. Sherman is secretly just a battle droid in disguise? I am a living human being. I am not a robot. Not a droid either. How much longer for this stream? Drowsy. We are at 17 minutes left in stream. 17 minutes left in stream for the day. Hello there, this is Dr. Remington LaFollette, and my friend wants to ask if he's a furry with some sort of ability, non-disclosed, but it's some sort of reality traveling, how would he can be contained? Does the furry thing have anything to do with the power, or did they just want to brag about being a furry? Because it seems like those are separate things. The reality traveling seems to be the anomaly. That being said, we would have to lock it in a cell next to a Scranton reality anchor, or Scranton reality anger. So, that would be the only way to trap a dimension traveler like that. Otherwise, like 507, it would just have to leave. And then we'd have to get it back when it shows up. Dr. Sherman, is the wiki a giant cover story for the real Foundation? I know the Foundation is not real, but in the lore. So in the lore, the SCP Foundation is both anomalous. It's also a wiki made by people in a higher realm of reality that we know we are fake. It is also one of the reasons anomalies have been created in the first place, as well as the reason anomalies are destroyed at the end of the day. The SCP Foundation, the SCP database itself are a lot of things, and it's usually in the SCP-001s. Cassie, thank you for donating again. What if we taught 999 telepathy? Well, if you could do it, that would be probably more effective than the whole talking idea. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. What about Time Stone for time loop training? Doesn't the Time Stone have all sorts of retrocausal effects? I don't remember how their time travel works. Kronos, thank you for donating again. Our temporal division over at Sentinel, no, we aren't canon, but I can have fun, would be happy to help with the Mobile Task Force training. We know our stuff. We aren't typically friendly with other organizations like that. I would be worried about your motives, and you should be worried about ours. Normally. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. SCP-109 would provide great water cooling. I'm not familiar with 109. Standard issue United States canteen. Made of tin alloy and fitted with heavy cotton cover. Items seem to be nearly full of water. Unlimited water can be released from the container without changing the water level of the item's mass. Blue-gray tint. With concentrations of 20 parts per million of tin and 170 parts per million of other electrolytes. Water remains at a constant temperature of 19 degrees Celsius, but can be heated or cooled when moved to another container. So it was object class safe. Trouble with people using the water bottle for purposes they're not supposed to. The water seems to be doing very nice things for this person's health. I wonder why it's Euclid. I don't see why it's, is it just because people were misusing it? As tests were conducted on the item, uncertainty surrounding test results prompted General blank blank to upgrade the object class to Euclid. A general? The Foundation has a general in this universe? I never knew about that. Oh, Desk is informing me the Infinity Stones only work in the universe where it's created. No time stone could affect our world, as we are Creative Commons and we do not have any. Well, there's that as well. Onimask, thank you for your membership. Do you think the scramble goggles that were unsuccessfully used against 096 would be effective protection against 4910? All right, well, we know about the flaw in the scramble goggles, so what's 4910? The Grinner. That's what you're talking about, the Grinner? The Grinner. Okay, so this is another funky teeth anomaly. This is the second time I'm being hit with a funky teeth anomaly this week. Ugh. I don't like the funky teeth. Thank you, Desk. A minute too late. For God, the teeth. Trigger warning on the teeth. Great. Great. Operatives. All right, so predatory dental quadruped. 100 multi-continental sightings post 1886. Precise details unknown. Eyewitnesses invariably succumb to its effects. So, primarily the rapid overproduction of teeth, inhibiting their ability to verbalize intelligibly. Recording devices are instantaneously compromised via the manifestation of dentin in critical components. Artistic representation varies widely, yet focuses exclusively on various amalgamations of teeth and the associated gingiva. 4910 seems to be capable of differentiating between those unaware of its properties, typically civilians, whom it uses for sustenance, and those who specifically seek to either capture or harm it, such as personnel of mundane and occult organizations, whom it targets for the purposes of esophageal replication. While similar in most respects to standard victims, those targeted for replication act as a vector for SCP-4910's anomalous properties. So it seems that 4910 does not specifically need to be seen to affect you. It seems like it affects recording devices, so even if I believe the scramble goggles might not work, or at least the scramble goggles would be disabled by the Denton buildup, and that would mean you'd have to take off the scramble goggles and be affected. But also, if it does affect by sight, then, just like 096, the delay of that infinitesimally small bit of a second will cause you to have seen it. So either way, you're not winning that one. Agent Miles, be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect. We'll see you later. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Have you heard about sodium-cooled fast reactors? It's the new type of nuclear power plant. I have not, in fact, heard of sodium-cooled fast reactors. But if it makes for safe nuclear reactors that we can use to solve climate change-related power needs, that would be cool. I hope for a future where we are safe from the issues that brings. Tracy, I love your Chanel. Well, I'm not known to wear designer brands like that, but if I do had some, I would probably enjoy them, I guess. I don't know. I do like a little peacocking with the style, so we could have fun with that. But jokes aside, I'm glad you enjoy the channel. We do our best to make sure the SCP Foundation is digestible to the people. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Okay, update. Both wings are completely broken. I will be unable to fly for a while, being taken to Med Bay right now. That's very unfortunate. I hope you have a good recovery. What if you pull the roots from the tree? Will it scream? Oh, Dominic, we have tried pulling the roots from the tree. Trust me, did not work. What is your favorite SCP? Sorry, my stream dropped out for a second, so if you answered earlier, I didn't hear. Kingfin, we are currently 7 minutes from the end of stream. And I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, so hang out for 7 more minutes and you'll be good to go. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Still trying to find out what that is on your necklace. Oh, I can tell you that. Give me a second. Let me be sure of all of the proper terminology. So what you are looking at here, on one side, if you recognize that, this is a denarian coin. It is one of the coins given to Judas over the betrayal of Jesus Christ. Now, which specific Jesus? Was it bread Jesus or Jesus? I'm not sure, but that's that. So this is a denarian coin that was once in the possession of one Nicodemus Archleon. And it granted him a deal with the demon, the fallen Andoriel. And the fallen angel Andoriel and Nicodemus came to a sort of agreement where the demon's powers would be lent to Nicodemus. If you're familiar with the series The Dresden Files, that would be where this piece of kit comes from. I'm a huge fan of the Dresden Files novel series. I highly suggest it to anyone who enjoys urban fantasy. And, yeah, it's a funny, good time. A wizard detective who lives in modern-day Chicago. What's not to like? Grilled cheese Jesus when? Hey, I've been working behind the scenes to get SCP-3305, codename Bread Jesus, and SCP-6542, codename Cheesus, into the commissary for a grilled cheesus meal. But I just haven't worked out the negotiations yet. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. It allows power load matching while the nuclear reactor stays at full output. It also separates the nuclear reactor from the power generation part of the plant. You are talking a bit over my head, and I do not know how that helps or if it helps, but I hope it does. Sheeny, I watched a bit of the show, never read it though. Ooh, that show has a reputation among Dresden fans. I don't think it was that bad. I liked it because I like liking things. But yeah, it was very different from the books. And that did get on some people's case. Dr. Sherman, what do you think about the Helldivers? I think that the Helldivers are a wild, super fascist organization in space. And therefore, as a Foundation researcher, I admire their mission and the good work they're doing, containing anomalies and protecting Super Earth from them. And I think the comedy aspect is hilarious. Neck crack, neck crack. All right, we are down to the last 2 minutes of stream. I'm getting the last questions I'm going to answer today. Sherm, have you seen the secret text in the Murphy Law Hub? I'm sorry, what? Hidden text in the Murphy Law Hub? SCP Murphy Law. The Hard-Boiled Adventures of Murphy Law. Redacted. So I see the SCP listing of the different Murphy Law adventures. Except that some of these are just SCPs in general. Because they are the character credits from these comics. I think this white page probably has something secret on it, but I don't know how to access it. It's in the black box that says, "See You Magic Noir Boy." Black box? I don't see a black box at all. Comic. I do not see what you are talking. It's not in the article, it's in the character hub. Yeah, I'm in the recovered media, the hard-boiled adventures of Murphy Law. Isn't that the hub? Am I wrong about that? Is this not the hub? I want to solve this mystery before we're done. If you Google Murphy Law Hub, you'll go to a separate page with the black box. Okay, let me just Murphy Law Hub. Murphy Law in Murphy Law's Hub. Okay, this is definitely a different page for sure. I thought the comics were it. Okay, well, I accidentally got a link to the Cowboy Bebop original soundtrack, but I don't think that was what you were talking about. Was it? Desk, I see what you are highlighting here, and that's what I see too. Oh, wait a minute. I know what the problem is. Give me 1 second to try something. All right, well, I don't even know how to change that right now. Where is it? Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody in always. This sick, strange darkness comes creeping on. All right, long story short, I believe that because I am reading on dark mode, it's not secret text. The text is white. Therefore, I was confused. This is what I see. And so there is no secret text because dark mode lost it for me. And I was trying to turn off dark mode to see if that was the case, and I'm just going to guess it was. Whew. There are 7 seas, 7 continents, and 7 wonders in the world, 7 days, 7 sins, and 7 notes on a scale, but only 6 bullets in my gun. Desk, the wiki does not have a dark mode. I have a dark mode extension on my browser. Yeah, so that's why the dark mode for this extension messed that up. It does that for a lot of pages. Now I'm caught on. Now I'm caught on. We made it. Let me finish out the last donations here. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, you donated 3 times. Thank you for trying to help while I was trying to figure that out. Greatly appreciated. It is supposed to make nuclear power safer and more reliable. I sent the web address. I like safe, reliable. That's good. And then you said the same thing from the magic box to make sure I got it. Most appreciated. And so now, here, at the end of all time, at the end of all stream, we have, as always, my favorite SCPs. I tell them to you, we did them earlier, but I'll do them one more time real quick. Remember the short version. Not my favorite, my SCP favorites are not the ones I wrote. That would be cheating. Go read my SCPs on my author page. Become a patron or a channel member if you want to help us directly. If not, as long as you're doing the YouTube like, share, and subscribe and all that, you can still be a member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename The Signal Boosters. My favorite SCP, in no particular order. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320, and 8980. Very big trigger warning on that last one. It's a bad one. Remember, we stream every day. We don't know what time, but if you hit the bell, you may luck in to one of our daily anomalous broadcasts from Site 42. We have been streaming every single day for 1.5 months as of today, 1.5 months, and the streak continues until it doesn't. And I am gearing up so that it doesn't end anytime soon. One more time through the favorite SCPs, 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175, and 5320, along with 8980. Big content warning on that one. It is a rough read. So, hit that like button. Let's get it over 400 likes for the close of stream during our song credits. Remember, I sing during the credits because OSP Productions does that, and I like Red, and I think it's a cool idea, and I get to sing because I like a singer about the Moona and the Juna and the Springer. I like to sing. So, as always, I hope you had fun, and I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next stream and or video. Doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number 2. No one knows how hard I tried. Oh, I have feelings that I can't explain, driving me insane. All my life been so polite, but I'll sleep alone tonight, 'cause I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blonde fragility? I'm just Ken. Where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tan and fight for me? I'm just Ken, and I'm enough, and I'm great at doing stuff. So hey, check me out, yeah, I'm just Ken. My name's Ken, and so am I. Put that manly hand in mine. So hey, check me out, yeah, I'm just Ken. Baby, I'm just